Hi there. Welcome to another presentation of the Globe Sound Healing Conference. Now we have Charleen Closshey. Hi, Charleen.
Hi, how are you?
Excellent. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. It is such an honor and a delight to be here with you and so many wonderful sonic alchemists that are out there. This is truly a remarkable opportunity to come together and explore the thing that we all love, the thing that
Mhm.
shapes our world, sound.
And
I
it
mean,
will change
how
the world.
many? Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Excellent. Billboard Top 40 artist and frequency researcher, Charleen transforms sound into a tool for healing. Her groundbreaking archetypes of sound fuses music, psychology, while her innovative crystal singing bowl sessions have garnered millions of views. A TEDx speaker and Shift Network faculty, Charleen is completing her PhD. What have you been up to lately?
You know, sound. Sounds like a plan. It's really, we're blessed when we can do what we love and love what we do. And every day brings such a new and exciting, different type of joy based on how we get to explore sound. Whether we're exploring it as music, we're exploring it as the inner workings of our own world. We're learning, we're comprehending, we're teaching, we're disseminating. It all just comes together in such a beautiful way. So I just feel really honored to be able to walk alongside of sound always.
Excellent. Okay, here's the big question. If
Oh,
you had all the money in the world, what would you do to help people on the planet?
it's such a great question because the truth is that my answer to that wouldn't require all of the money in the world. The money in the world, I'm sure, would help spread it faster, quicker, more efficiently, perhaps. But the truth is, and I think my greatest mission in life is to help all of us remember, including myself, the natural sovereignty that is our personal state, the power that exists, that courses through our very veins every moment of every day, and where that power comes from. You don't have to think of it in a religious term at any stretch. We think of it very scientifically. But when we activate the essence of this power, suddenly our life changes. And when we can change that inner state, our life, suddenly the world around us also changes. So for me, it would be how quickly can we inspire, uplift, and delight and remind of this power that is within each and every one of us, especially you.
Oh my God. When you were saying that, I was thinking, we find a person's soul note, home note as well. And
Mhm.
it should be in the hospitals when the baby is born.
Yes. Well, I mean,
You're, you're,
if we think about indigenous cultures, so many times it is that these frequencies follow us even before birth. There's a village in Africa where the mother, before she even considers getting pregnant, she goes out, sits under a tree, listens for the song of the child. She comes home and teaches it to her husband. While they are conceiving, they sing the song of the child. And this song follows the child all the way through the moments of glory in their lives, the times when they've gone astray and need to return to the fold. The village sings to this child all the way through to their last breath. So the song is always with us. It's just a function of how much can we hear it? How much do we remember our innate resonance and that frequency, what we call this soul's signature frequency.
we'll talk more about it later because I get really excited about this. I wrote a book on relationships that just came out, my fourth
Mm,
book, and the uh, half of the book is all about being whole on your own,
yes,
heart open. Because
yes,
when you're whole on your own, then the relationship flows. That's the
yes,
whole deal.
100%.
Hmm.
So well said. You cannot be a partner until you are an individual in
Right.
anything. So beautiful.
Okay, so tell us about your presentation.
Oh, I'm so excited. Everything that we've been talking about, that you've been listening to, that we've been embodying, is this idea that everything is vibrating. We're all vibrational beings. And we're summoning, we're calling forth frequencies that resonate with, that match whatever our current level of vibration is, that pure frequency. And I know that there's a reason that each and every one of us are here today, whether it's you felt a resonance with someone, a topic, some answer you're seeking to a question in your soul that you're longing to hear more about. And it makes me pause and think about how many times in life have we stopped and asked ourselves, why? Why? Why any of this? Why sound? Why frequency? What's the meaning of life? What's my purpose for being here? Why is there so much chaos and division? What sound healing tool's best for me? Why can't I manifest my dreams, my heart's desires, my partnership? We ask so many questions. And yet scientists, seekers, sages alike, they admonish us to remember that a new level of inspiration and insight can never be reached from the same perspective from which we ask the question. New answers require new vibrations. So instead of asking why, what's the meaning, which is the best, how can I, what? Maybe we should be asking how. How can I expand myself to be the greatest, purest, most harmonious instrument of light, of goodness? Whatever it is that you're seeking to embody, how can I serve? How can I embody the archetypes I'm here to reflect? How can I express the deep purpose of the universe orchestrated through my life, my unique and divine vibration? Sometimes it's about asking a different question to get a different response. Over the next hour, we're going to start turning down this volume on searching and begin to really turn up the volume and ignite a deeper knowing as we'll explore and activate what I like to think of as our ultimate tuning fork, your soul's signature frequency. It's that unique note that your divine essence is meant to play in the universal symphony, a note that holds the clear, resonant answer to every core question. Everybody's favorite poet, Rumi, and mystic, he reminded us, he said, "You wander from room to room, hunting for a diamond necklace that's already around your neck." So let's explore our inner diamonds. Speaking of exploration, as a musician, the exploration of sound has always been an exploration of the invisible. We often think of music as the vibrations we perceive with our ears, but that's really only one dimension of a much larger reality. And let's break that down and see what some of the various sciences actually say about that. So acoustic science says sound is, yes, multidimensional. The harmonic series mathematically proves and confirms that frequency patterns occur inside every note. Acoustic science says one note is never just one note. Each note is a symphony unto itself. Quantum science, my favorite, says that from the perspective of modern-day string theory, that the fundamental constituents of reality, they're not these little tiny particles, they're actually tiny one-dimensional strings. The different way that these strings vibrate give rise to every particle and force we experience in the universe. So quantum science says vibration is the progenitor of matter, and the entire universe is perhaps a symphony of vibrating strings. Now, spiritual science says that sound is multidimensional, revealing that every audible note is accompanied by additional background notes. Think of these as energetic blueprints that hold the consciousness and intention from which each vibration was created. So spiritual science says that sound is a pulse. It's the current of the divine, the spirit flowing eternally. So sound is a multidimensional phenomenon existing across time-space, a current of the divine expressing itself into form as matter. The question is, how? Well, the divine expression individuates as your soul's signature frequency and my soul's signature frequency, his and hers. Your soul's signature frequency is that unique note, that vibration, the series of frequency patterns that only you can play, you can vibrate, you can manifest. All other frequencies, they co-create with you, sometimes creating beautiful, resonant harmony, sometimes manifesting as strident, dissonant, chaotic. But without your note, your signature frequency alive and active, this universal spirit seems to sound maybe a little flat. Its vibration and resonance maybe not nearly as warm and full and rich, as expansive as it could be, like it is when your individual expression is really fully activated. So let's consider those terms, soul and spirit. What's the difference? Well, for our purposes today, let's connect with the ancient Essene understanding and just translate it into musical terms. Easy to understand. So let's think of your spirit as this great universal wind, this heavenly divine self, the source of universal intent, eternal wisdom. It's a wind, pure, formless source of all vibration. Now, the soul, your soul, is an individual flute, the earthly embodied self, your mind, your will, your emotions, your physical body, all combined together. And the soul is here to learn, to express, to play your signature frequency. So in this example, your soul's signature frequency is the perfect, coherent tone produced when your individual flute, your earthly soul, is precisely tuned to catch the wind of the spirit, that heavenly divine quantum source. Your soul's signature frequency is, think of it as a divine blueprint flowing from the unseen spirit realm into the seen physical world through the instrument of your body. And when you're vibrating your signature frequency, life just comes alive in you. You know this feeling. You have felt it at least once in your life, maybe, hopefully, prayerfully every day. It's when you're in a state of knowing where flow and ease, they surround and they comfort you, they uplift you. Where deep discernment is just, that's normal. That's a normal everyday occurrence. And where you can effortlessly tap into that transformative archetype of healer for yourself and for others. So we can begin to tune, to activate your signature frequency by understanding the physics, the metaphysics, and the art of that invisible force that we call sound. And first we have to look beyond the veil and begin to uncover and understand the energetic reality actually behind what we call sound, especially in organized or coherent sound, or what I call multidimensional music. Think of multidimensional music as just that, multidimensional, consisting of the perceivable frequencies, the light that we consciously and even unconsciously perceive from any sound. The note, the sound, it's beautiful. Plus, all of the hidden shadows hovering directly behind these vibrations in the unseen dimensional realms that make up our perception of this sound. Now, according to scientist Rupert Sheldrake, there are unseen fields of energy information called morphic fields. They directly influence the form in which life manifests. They're like blueprints of physical expression. Well, sound is no different. There are unseen energetic blueprints, these architectures that manifest as vibrations. You can see them in the physical patterns within cymatics. But where do these patterns originate? Well, they originate in that unseen realm, the source of this resonant morphic field. This idea is echoed throughout ancient spiritual traditions. In the beginning was the word, the activated power of that vibration. That word is a mechanism that translates the formless archetypal blueprint into tangible physical reality we see and hear. So this originating realm of pure potentiality has many names. Quantum physicists call it the limitless multidimensional realm, the quantum or 0-point field. Mystics call it pure potentiality. But for the sound healer, we call this field the home of frequency, where energies come together, align, and seek out all of those beings, healers, seekers, sourpusses, vibrating an exact resonant match. So to master this alignment, we must recognize that we operate in both the physical world of sound and that unseen world of pure energy, and they inform and influence each other. Interestingly, both sides can be tuned. To tune the seen realm of physical reality, we rely on quantity, like precise measurements. I'm, for instance, tuning my bowl to 432 hertz, this A. We tuned it at the factory, but it's okay. You get my gist. This is a left brain, a very technical experience. Well, to tune the unseen realm, we rely on quality. It's a feeling, an emotion, a knowingness, a very right-brained metaphysical experience. But how do we know these qualities of feelings, emotions, and knowingness are even there? Well, we know, and we calculate this through resonance. And this principle is brilliantly validated by the work of Dr. Ibrahim Karim and biogeometry. Biogeometry is the application of ancient Egyptian temple sciences, geometric principles, and resonance to harmonize biological systems like you, like me, like the room that I'm in. Now, Dr. Karim discovered that all energy in the cosmos shares a specific harmonizing quality. It's a central divine pattern called BG3. And this quality isn't measurable on the electromagnetic spectrum, yet its power is scientifically validated to measurably improve physical health and reduce negative side effects on environmental stress on our body, our mind, and even our emotional state. The science of biogeometry is used all over the world to harmonize literally everything, anything, from architecture to agriculture, sports, wireless communications, and even, oh, you got it, music. So through the law of resonance, we can measure these unseen forces that harmonize, that influence our world. And this validated principle is a key to your soul's signature frequency. Now, just as biogeometry introduces a very fascinating concept that behind every color, every frequency of light we perceive, there is a background color, a color supporting the tone. Behind every frequency, there is a background frequency, a background note. And it's these invisible background vibrations that are the qualities. Think of it as like the aspect of the consciousness that gives greater life, vitality, meaning, structure to the quantifiable note that we hear with our ears or perceive with our senses. So it's in this foundational background note understanding that becomes a defining part of your signature frequency. But how do we know these background notes are there? Great question. Again, we know through resonance, that natural tendency of two unique systems sharing a similar energy quality to emit measurable energy information. Now, this is precisely what Dr. Karim calls the physics of quality. And this principle states that at the same core, universal qualities are expressed as different phenomenon. Meaning, simply, a color can carry the same resonant quality as a musical note, a shape, a number, an angle. Our senses perceive the qualities in specific narrow bands. What we see as color and what we hear as sound are simply different sensory interpretations of a same underlying quality happening in different bands of frequency. So, have you ever had the experience where you thought you could see a sound or hear a color? Well, even if you don't think you're a synesthete, which, by the way, you probably actually are, according to the physics of quality, you do, all the time. So for instance, the quality of the note C resonates with the same quality that we experience as the color red. It's not a metaphor at all. It's actually very biological. Our nervous system measurably reacts in the same way to the quality of the note C as it does to the color red, and we have the science to show it. And this confirms that the body perceives the quality just beyond this quantifiable specific hertz frequency number. So when you hear music, you're not just experiencing sound, you're experiencing a color, colors, shapes, numbers, mathematical angles, all confirmed through resonance. So sound is truly multidimensional, and its origins are moving, existing beyond the constraints of time and space. Now, the most crucial part of this multidimensional reality is that it means your personal frequency code, like a spiritual DNA of sort, it's always active. Your deepest blueprints, they're not hidden. They're just saying, hey, I'm here, recognize me. That's our opportunity. Your signature frequency Think of it as a background note of your soul, your expression here in this lifetime as you. It's that vibrational blueprint that ensures your personal vibration is directly linked from your spirit or your higher self, however you think of it, to, most clearly, into your life's purpose. And when this note is muted or distorted, it's easy to feel very disconnected, kind of struggling to figure out the path. Where am I going? Bridging the gap between this solid, locked-in spiritual truth and its physical manifestation. So our job is to tune it. It's to tune the instrument so that the universal symphony can play through us clearly and resonantly. Speaking of playing through us, let's actually talk about your body, the instrument itself. Especially in the face of AI and transhuman technologies, I think it's really essential to understand that you are already the most advanced technology system in existence. Check this out. Your body is not only wired to survive, it's actually wired to transcend perceived limitations. Here are some interesting facts. So your brain, it processes an estimated equivalent of about 1 quadrillion operations per second, on par with the most advanced AI processors. Your heart and your brain can accurately, very accurately, more accurately than I could say it, receive information about future events before they occur. AI can't do that. See, I know I wasn't going to be able to say that right. Interestingly, your DNA, it's the ultimate biological technology. It's actually a fractal geometric shape and pattern that acts as wideband antenna, enabling your DNA to efficiently not only receive but also transmit energy from across a vast multi-frequency spectrum simultaneously. From the deepest earth rhythms and tones, these extremely low frequencies, to subtle light frequencies, and I suggest beyond. Your body is engineered for instantaneous whole system information exchange. You are wired to master frequency. The key to your signature frequency relies on 3 very distinct systems. Let's talk about them. The first is your heart, your nervous system, and, interestingly, your genetics. So your heart. The first key to accessing your signature frequency is through this multidimensional portal of a coherent heart. A coherent heart generates an electromagnetic field that harmonizes your entire physical system, tuning your body and turning it into a receptive antenna for higher dimensional information and input, receiving, transmitting constantly. Research from HeartMath Institute confirms, heck yeah, the heart's electromagnetic field is a massive transmitter. It's 60 times more powerful than the brain's. And it's measurable even several feet away from our body. This field acts as a carrier wave for your frequency, broadcasting your state of being while simultaneously organizing your internal biology. The most potent, rapid, easy way to establish this coherent heart state is by consciously synchronizing your heart and then your brain at their optimal healing rhythms, which is about 5.5 seconds, breathing in 5.5 seconds, breathing out 5.5 seconds. This is called the perfect breath for when we do this approximately 5 seconds in, 5.5 seconds in, 5.5 seconds out. We take in about 5.5 liters of oxygen into our lungs, and we generate the frequency of 0.1 hertz, which is a scientific measurement of the heart's rhythm when it's perfectly synchronized with the brain and the lungs. HeartMath research shows that practicing this focused coherence for just 5 minutes, or maybe 5.5 minutes, a day, over a period of weeks, establishes a new higher coherence baseline within your body, which means your body is more resilient. It's able to handle stress. It reduces the levels of the stress hormone, cortisol, and it increases your vitality, that emotional resiliency where something that might have pulled you off course oh, okay, I can deal with that. Instead of being stuck in a bad day, it's easier to come back online. It also increases your intuitive discernment. And we can connect to this vibrational power of your subconscious mind, this deep-seated patterns of belief, with a coherent heart to bring your inner frequency into beautiful, harmonious alignment. So the second key to accessing your signature frequency is safety. We have to ensure that our systems feel safe. And it's that beautiful 10th cranial nerve that broadcasts to our body how safe we do or don't feel. So psychologist and researcher, good friend, beautiful man, Dr. Stephen Porges flipped the script on the understanding of how our bodies respond to sound, describing how first and foremost, our entire system is constantly listening for safety. How our inner state, how we feel inside, determines what we're actually physically capable of hearing. Our hearing changes based on our internal state. And how our vagus nerve acts as this biological mediator between what we hear and how we feel. This new understanding is called the polyvagal theory. By applying polyvagal informed practices, we can gently cue our nervous system to move out of fight or flight in this defensive state into a more elevated, elegant state of deep connection and flow, which is also called the ventral vagal state. The science behind this is called neuroception. Your nervous system is constantly and unconsciously scanning the world for cues of safety, danger, even before you consciously think about it. When a threat's detected, it immediately defaults to this defense system. You know them as fight, flight, freeze, where you physiologically shut down access to your higher cognitive thinking brain centers. It's why you can't shift into your infinite potential from a place of biological defense or fear. And for the sound healer, that's really important. We have to understand that sound is the direct trigger that activates the body to move into survival or into flow, expansion, transformation. And this is the key, especially for sound healers. Your ears are literally programmed to change their tuning based on whether or not your body feels threatened or safe. When you feel defensive, when you feel threatened, the muscles in your middle ear, they actually tense up and they filter out frequencies of the human voice. You know, those beautiful mid-range frequencies where there's comfort, connection, joyful interaction, comfort. And you actively begin to listen instead for these low frequency sounds biologically connected to survival, you know, like a volcano rumbling or a tiger behind a tree. So our physiology changes when we feel safe. And so much so the muscles in the middle ear actually relax, allowing you to tune back into those beautiful mid-range frequencies of communication, of coherence. So part of your work as a sound healer, part of your work as someone who uses sound, is to signal safety to your own system, unlocking the door to the deeper levels of transformation and allowing you to receive these higher, much more subtle frequencies of your own signature frequency that, remember, are happening all of the time. Now, the third key to activating your signature frequency lies in directly engaging your genetic blueprints, your DNA. Remember, your DNA is that ultimate antenna. It's designed to receive information and energy across an entire cosmic spectrum. You are wired, I say it again, to master frequency. You are wired to master frequency. The core principle is simple. Your inner master, this inner mastery, becomes the director of your genetic code. The coherent signal from your heart creates the energy. Polyvagal practices create the safety. You combine these, using your conscious awareness to direct that signal, to activate yourself on the most subtle levels, to shift your physical expression from this archetypal realm, these morphic blueprints. For instance, this lecture is not passive listening. It's actually an active transmission. It's a powerful cue that you can choose to use, to utilize, to resonate ideas, information, patterns more deeply in your system, more deeply than you ever have before, simply by your sovereign choice. These highly harmonized energy fields, when they integrate with music, they actually enhance these acoustic signals. The harmonizing effects, think of them as acting as a carrier wave of multidimensional information, speaking directly to you on a cellular and genetic level, this is change shifting, giving rise to a new opportunity for your genetic architecture, because your DNA is ultimately the ultimate biological technology, divinely engineered for wideband exchange. Understand that we are frequency, that everything is frequency. The frequency interacts with frequency to create expressions of the unseen realms through the patterning of these resonant morphic field, these blueprints. And as such, when connecting to the multidimensional nature of vibration, everything can be harmonized. The greatest truth is, you already possess the master key to unlock your greatest potential. You were born with it. You live with it every single day. Now, your work, your opportunity, starting right now, is to become the conscious conductor, the conductor of this process, asking, knowing, how can I serve this cosmic symphony to the best of my ability each and every day, knowing some days are better than others. But the power to shift your reality, it's a daily choice. I don't care who you are. And here's how we do it. We can choose to generate coherence simply by focusing our attention on our heart, cultivating a heightened emotion like gratitude, love, compassion, care, appreciation for 5.5 minutes. We can choose safety by taking intentional, conscious breaths, by reminding our nervous system in ways that work best for you, that you are the elevated, you are safe, all is well. You can stay in this elevated ventral vagal state of connection. And you can also choose to resonate with your unique signature frequency by focusing on the feeling of boundless potential that is unique to you. The goal is to leverage this fantastic law of resonance at the deepest level to compel your DNA, this master receiver, to resonate with your highest, most authentic signature frequency so you can bring more in, you can hear more deeply, you can feel more fully, you can realize your vibrational patterns more specifically. And it's this sustained, aligned signal that acts almost like a biological command so that you can change the old patterns, blossoming into this place of finding your newest, most beautiful answers to any of life's most challenging or frustrating problems. Think about how you move from fate into destiny. And we do it by beginning to biologically embody your resonance. So I'd like to invite you to find more comfort in your body right now. Begin just to notice if there is any tension in your body, where it might be coming from. And just say, oh, hello. Hello, tension. And just sigh it out for a moment. Return back. Let's begin to actually embody everything we just started talking about. Activate an active tuning, maybe an upgrade of your current biological technology. Start to find your note of destiny. Allowing yourself even more comfort sinking into your physical sensation of your body. You can allow your gaze to soften, your eyes to close. There's nothing to do, just simply be in this moment. Your soul already knows how to do this, so let's just remind that beautifully active brain. Take a deep, gentle breath in, holding that breath in, feeling your heart begin to relax before you exhale. Shifting your attention, anchoring your awareness now into the space of your heart, right there in the center of your chest. Good, good. My friends, this is the seat of your power. Good. Let's begin with coherence, beginning to step more powerfully into the role of the conductor, placing your attention entirely on the area around your heart. Begin to breathe slowly, rhythmically in through your heart, out through your heart. Thinking, imagining, feeling, sensing the air flowing softly through this multidimensional portal in the center of your chest. If it feels right to you, try breathing in 5.5 seconds, approximately, out 5.5 seconds. Find your rhythm. What does your rhythm look like today, right here, right now? Continuing to breathe in through your heart. Beautiful. It's easy. It's effortless. It feels so good. Expansive and warm. Wondrous. Taking a deep breath in, breathing in through your heart. Exhaling through your heart. The divine matrix of sound leads to the pure potential of silence. And just like that, let go. Release any work. And just simply begin to listen. Stand in the quantum gap, this place of silence. Listen, feel the unique, consistent tone or texture of your inner silence. It's in this subtle, resonant background note, that quality of feeling that underlies all other vibrations, where truth is found. Listen for the sensation, the feeling, the quality, the knowingness. Listen through your heart. Breathing in through your heart. Exhaling through your heart. Listen for the feeling, a sense of being finally and completely home. And when it feels comfortable, and only then, begin to return back into this physical time, space, place. Returning to your body. A new informational pattern emerging around you. Beautiful. There you are. Notice how your body feels differently now than it did a moment ago. And just allow settling in, taking as much time as you need. embody your beauty. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, feeling the heart relax before you gently exhale. My friends, you have just tapped into the core frequency of your destiny. When we tap into that divine feeling, we unlock ourselves, our future, our understanding of the world in ways that support everything that we do with our work with audible sound. This undercurrent of grounded awareness, of consciousness coming into supporting the work in this side is the most important thing we can do. There are so many resources waiting for us on the other side. All we need to do is summon them to us. And we do that from a place of centered, aligned resonance, coherency. Your body knows what to do. All you have to do is remind yourself of the power, the presence, the divinity of who you as a sovereign being are. Breathe into that. Carry that with you today and every day forward. Thank you so much, my friends. Well done. Well done.
Whee!
Right? Ooh. It's amazing how sound transports. I always say that the twin sister of sound is silence. And ultimately, that's where we are headed. Even Mozart said, yeah, the beauty's not actually in the notes, guys. It's in the silence. Now, he said it in a little more poetic way, but that's exactly what he said. The beauty is in the silence. That's where all of the juicy good stuff is. In quantum physics, we know that's the gap. It's where, when we take these quantum leaps, where a part of us disappears from this time-space reality and then suddenly reappears in a higher, more elevated state. And it's this space, this silence that we're really striving to get into, to bring back here so we can manifest and spread it and live it. Because what's the whole point of having a body if we don't live as fully as we can in every moment? So,
Yeah. Best part of sound is when it ends.
yes, exactly. Exactly. It's that place of transporting us into the unknown. Because if we know it, then it's already defined. And what good is that? It can only be as good as our imagination. I'd like to go somewhere that is beyond my imagination. But maybe that's just me.
Well, there's so many things you talked about that just lit me up because they're things I'm really interested in myself. It's like we've been running parallel lives, I think. And then I got blissed out, and now I can't talk. But let's dive in.
Perfect.
Let's dive in. It's interesting because I've been asking people in classes and workshops, like, how many of you know where home is? And not even the note, but just where you are you. And it's less than a third that raised their hand. And if you don't know where home is, where you are you, you don't know when you're off and you need to do something.
What key am I playing in?
Right. Right. It's so important. The whole thing that you're talking about is just critical to really know when you are you.
Yes, and your work, David, with it is so beautiful. The idea of the home note and of really finding ways to stabilize the physical system first, because just like Dr. Porges talks about, with the when our system feels unsafe, we shut down, and not only do we shut down, we actually can't even process. We can't hear.
Right.
Suddenly your speaking would it sounds like Charlie Brown's the teacher. Wah 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 wah. We're physiologically programmed to do that. So by finding a place where we can feel more home, more grounded, more safe, more secure, more connected, then we can start doing this much higher work. That's really what we're called to do. I
It's
think.
interesting.
Go ahead,
It's
please.
also, I'm working with kids. We're creating a whole new curriculum for kids around the world, and we've already got 2,500 exercises. And number one thing for
Hmm.
kids is safety. And,
Yes.
and it gets embedded if you don't have that safety in the beginning. At that point, it's really important.
Yes. Well, and I think to your point, David, the thing we forget, because as adults, what are we? We're grown up kids who are still most of the time carrying childhood traumas. So the most important thing for anyone is safety.
Uh,
It has to be. It's the way that our bodies are wired. And fortunately, there are so many opportunities in our present day world society when we move into these peoply places, that's what I call it, that it's easy to fall off center. So how do we retune, recalibrate? What is that central tuning note?
yeah.
As a violinist, it's really easy. I know it's an A. Now, the
Yeah.
question becomes is what tuning is this A I'm going to be tuning to based on what orchestra or quartet or group I'm playing with? What's their foundational frequency experience? So there's so much subtlety that goes into understanding what is home and how do we get there?
Well, I always think of it as the basis is stable, consistent vibration, which is basically a drone, all the vowels, all the
Mm-hmm.
bowls, all the Tibetan bowls, tuning forks, any gongs, anything that's stable, consistent creates the peace that makes you safe. And then you can get a little more detailed when you get into the actual note. As far
Mm-hmm.
as the note, it's really interesting because this is kind of my area big time, right? Because I've been finding people's note for about 15 years. I think you're around a D sharp or an F. I would probably think I would bet you're an F actually, because you have a really fast metabolism. And it's interesting, but that's the physical body. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually, and it's measurable with EKG and EEG, where
Mm-hmm.
you're at peace. It's actually the rhythm of where you're
Mm-hmm.
at peace, which you have to average out the heart. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
average out the brain. It's also the breath frequency where you're at
Mm-hmm.
peace, and it's measurable. But I always thought for the longest time that your frequency of your soul would be where you're at peace in your body, unless God is messing with us, right? And so I always think of the soul as a frequency of the essence of you connected to source, which you said, which is all frequencies. And then there's a harmonic structure around it, which is all of your past life experiences, which can
Mm-hmm.
be a little harmonious or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's really about reconnecting to that soul frequency. Alice Bailey says that's the Antakarana bridge that you build to your soul frequency to have it
Mm-hmm.
actually be the controller of your whole being instead of the emotional body and mental body. Mostly, most of us have the emotional body as the controller, right?
Yeah, and
Which is a roller coaster.
it's true. It's true. And it's interesting. It brings up 2 points. Exactly what you're talking about. These additional frequencies, these soul frequency really is that background quality of the note. So for instance, if we were to liken it to a color. So for instance, the color green, a background color that's measurable within the color, within the what vibration that we call green is actually red. Don't think of this as color theory. We're actually thinking of this in a resonance terms. So the red is actually what gives life and vitality, which makes sense, into aspects of this green, this verdant, constantly growing, moving, effulgent kind of vibration that we embrace in this physical world. The other thought that I have about the introduction of past lives, that in and of itself is such an interesting topic, because if we know that time exists simultaneously, not from a linear perspective, but from a stacked time perspective, that means all harmonics are happening all at the same time. Everything is resonating all at the same time. So the differentiation is the journey. It's the experience. It is the expression, because that, how else do we unpack everything going on all at one time? It's a lot easier to say, well, this happened then, and then this happened now, and then this will happen in the future, which I conceive, because I can see it because it's all happening at the same time. So there's some really interesting foundational cool quantum things that are going on constantly. I think maybe that's why we love music so much, David.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's interesting because I had this one psychic, which I don't trust psychics completely, but it's always interesting. She's actually said some interesting things. She said, no, Dave, your soul note is not your body note.
Exactly.
She said that, she said, this is really interesting. She said, you can actually shine a light in the eyes and look at that reflection of the light through a prism, and it will show your actual soul color, which is a frequency. I was like, oh, that's interesting. She said, mine's D sharp, actually. And then,
but it makes sense because everything is a series of patterns. All that we are required to do in life, or all that we're asked or suggested, is to recognize these patterns. So whether we're experiencing them through diffracted prism of through the eye as a color spectrum of light, thus interpolating it through resonance into an understanding of a musical note, because we're just experiencing in different ways. There's that power is there. It's all about patterns. I'm always confounded by, I'm like, well, there's another pattern and it relates to this. Are you kidding me? Look at that. Holy moly. And then this one. And
another pattern that's really important, I think, is your timbre. Your core.
Yes, the timbre, 100%.
It could be, so you've got the frequency of your soul, you got the frequency of your body. Alice Bailey says there's a frequency of your mental body, and then your personality and your emotional body. And I've been finding that chord for people in the classes, which is a really interesting chord. She says that your soul is the same from lifetime to lifetime, whereas the other four are different from lifetime to lifetime.
Well, and by choice too, depending on what are we pulling through? What are we pulling through on these mental or emotional levels, these different planes? One of the things I love about biogeometry is actually being able to apply shape information. Shapes make a lot more sense for people than necessarily musical notes, etc. But by applying shape information to begin to inform these different subtle levels, these different planes of existence, our vital plane, where think about it, the existence through which we have acupuncture, what would stimulate the vitality plane, the emotional, the mental planes, and all the different subplanes within this into the spiritual planes as well. So there's lots of different ways to name or call, lots of nomenclature, but we're all essentially saying aspects of the same thing.
Yeah,
and
it was interesting. I took a bunch of people to Egypt, and we went to Ibrahim Karim's house, and he did a personal workshop for us. I was like, oh my God, right? It's really, really interesting, because you can also look at the soul as a song, your soul song.
100%. Yes.
Right. And I've
100%.
Yeah. And so it's excellent. Do you know your note?
Well, it depends on what note are we talking about. My home note, so my physical note, or my soul note. So what's interesting is yes and no, because, and I've been thinking about this a lot. I think a lot of it too is that I feel resonance with a couple of different pitches based on what I am doing. Think of it this way, as how much I am in or out of my body.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I often find the physical body that's grounding and the one that gets you high.
There are. Ever since I was a kid, I've always, probably like you, I've always been able to hear things, and depending on where I am when I'm listening, I have noticed that there are changes of resonance when I can truly be deep into a meditative position, stance, trance, and turn around and observe the observer, I find that there are different, because a lot of times too, I'll see it either as a color or as a texture floating over me. And those will change. There's not too much variation. There tends to be a couple of very distinct places that I go, and only because I'm a private person, I typically don't share it too much with other folks. But I very much know, and I go to those places. And whenever I'm needing to do different things, if I'm needing to manifest in the world, I'll go to one place. When I'm needing to manifest or pull information from a subtle realm, I really actively vibrate another aspect. And so a lot of times I'll have psychics and some wonderful friends of ours who, very strong seers, they actually, when they see me, they see the fusion of the two colors together.
Nice, nice. There's also the key of your voice that you sing in.
100%.
Mine's a G. I sing in the key of G
Cool.
when I speak. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's why it's so beautiful.
Right. It's also, I found that when you express love, you calmly go to the home note of the key that you sing in when you speak. Like, I really love my kitty. I love my kitty, right? That's the home note of the key of my voice. But there's another note that I help people find, and that's the heart note. And the heart note, I think heart math, it's 0.1 cycle per second, but I think it's a little bit different for different people.
I would agree, because everybody's body resonates differently. Going back to your idea of timbre, the way the overtones are combined, there is some fluctuation. There has to be, just like in tuning. I mean, a B that, for instance, a B that feels good to your body is going to feel a little different to my body. And again, we go into this qualitative understanding of what's happening behind the B, that background note, that background frequency.
It's really interesting to look at the archetypal frequencies, which the main one is the Schumann resonance. We're all tuned to that, even though we're all got our own different frequency. And I interviewed the people at HeartMath a couple of times. There's a frequency from cosmic rays resonating in the atmosphere of 0.1 cycle per second. It's like these aliens are sending frequencies to us to resonate us into love. Right?
Well, something's might as well be an alien. Just throwing that one out there.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? It could be the big kahuna source, you know. You never know. You never know.
Well, but here's the interesting thing is that who's to say that's not us in another time, space, reality?
Yes, right.
It's true. Exactly. Oh, the conundrum of life.
Okay. So here's something for you. That'll be interesting. Sing your soul note, if you like. You don't have to do this. I'm putting you on the spot. You don't have to. Just go into the zone.
This is interesting. Yeah, let me That's where it is right now.
Excellent. Just excellent.
Well, all right, David, I have a question for you. Now you.
Oh boy, that's interesting. Okay. Well, it's kind of like this. Let me turn on the original sound so you'll hear it.
There it is. I love it. I love it. It's amazing. How unexpected sounds will frequently be who we are. One of the reasons I paused, I hesitated because I was choosing. I was choosing if that was something that I wanted to share or not. And I thank you for asking me to do so. It's really interesting. I think probably because of having spent so much time in acting and on the stage, and you never break the fourth wall. And so there's always a sort of necessary boundary of what is shared or not, because as an actor, a storyteller, my job is to manifest, to create, to embody different archetypes. And if somebody knows really Charleen, then a lot of times it's easy to not as purely bring forth, to call forth these archetypes because other people's expectations, for instance. So a lot of times, I think we storytellers will frequently tend to kind of hold that space a little more closely. So I'm delighted. I'm appreciative. I'm humbled that you asked to share that. Because I don't think I naturally would have done that, not because I'm not happy to share and not that it's not the real me, but sometimes when we understand how patterns unfold, we become accustomed to those unfolding of patterns. So thanks, dude. I really appreciate that.
Thanks
Awesome.
for sharing your soul.
And I loved hearing your notes as well. That was fantastic. And it's interesting, with biogeometry, we're partnering with Dr. Karem right now. We're actually creating a device that can be used on any crystal singing bowl that's tunable. So we can tune based on shape information and target sending BG3, or this biogeometry 3, which is the higher combination of the higher harmonic of gold, the higher harmonic of ultraviolet, and the higher harmonic of what's called negative green, the horizontal band of negative green. It's not negative, it just exists on the opposite side of the color spectrum wheel across from green. We'd probably call it gray only because we don't have a physical system able to perceive with the same sensory group as we do other colors. So this BG3 that we can actually then tune to target an organ, a system, a physical body, a space, and use any crystal singing bowl to activate using the sound in the bowl as a carrier wave. So we're really excited about about working with them, partnering with them on that. And we're hoping that'll actually be available next year. So I'll have to keep you guys posted.
I love it. How do we get in contact with you?
Oh, please stay in touch with me. I love all of you wonderful, inquisitive, bright, fascinating, soulful people. Just find me online. It's my first name, Charleen.com. Charleen.com. Now, remember, there are 3 E's. My mom went a little vowel happy. CHARLEENE. So find us there. You can find us across social media as well. We're constantly posting wonderful, uplifting, and inspiring content because that's my mission. So we would love to see you there. We do live streams on YouTube, on Insight Timer, social media as well, and of course some really fun and exciting upcoming workshops. We actually are going to be hosting a class, a weekend sound healing retreat next year at the Art of Living Center in beautiful the Art of Living Retreat Center in beautiful North Carolina, just outside of Asheville. So sign up. If you want to know more, share your email. We'll share some really great music with you, and music that's we've actually used in the lab. Run a couple of various pilot studies and the effects of crystal singing bowls on stress, on sleep, and on your brain waves. So happy to share some of those tracks too if you want to stay in touch, because I really value you and I really appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you, David, for the invitation.
Well, thank you for everything you do.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Take care.
Satnam.
Today we're talking about oneness and unity consciousness. It's now proven that we can access these states. And in fact, they can actually show with the EEG map, I'll show you in a bit, when you're in that state. Oneness and unity consciousness is, at its core, it is the recognition that you're intimately connected to universal intelligence, a higher power, and ultimate truth. It means the boundaries between you and everything else disappear. It refers to the understanding or belief that everything is interconnected. Everything is part of a singular whole. It's the idea at a fundamental level there are no separations between things, and especially between people. And this concept is common in many spiritual traditions. When I ask people at open houses or workshops, how many people have experienced oneness or unity consciousness? It's probably average about 30%. When I ask people how many can access it at will, it goes down to less than a quarter. If you go online and check out on YouTube the near-death experiences, they commonly say, yeah, I went through the tunnel, I was one with the universe, and there was indescribable love there. People commonly say when they're one with the universe, there's this massive love, universal love, which is really interesting. It's like we're part of this higher being that's running universal love, and when we finally reconnect, because we were connected before we were born, and babies are often still connected, they say, until one. Their crown is still open. They say it is the crown chakra, which is the pineal gland. Some people call in or say it's part of the pituitary and hypothalamus as well, but most people say it's the crystalline structure of the pineal gland that gets triggered, that opens up this oneness to higher consciousness. And it can be triggered by light. There's many things that can actually bring you into oneness. A lot of people just sit with other people that are in this state, in satsang, right? We sit with people that are blissed out or in this state of oneness all the time, and hopefully absorb it by osmosis. Sometimes these spiritual leaders do what's called Shaktipat, where they open up the Kundalini energy all the way up to the crown, and then you go into this oneness. Sometimes it happens in nature, where we're actually totally just something, the beauty of nature totally takes us there. Sometimes it's drugs. It happened a couple of times when I was on drugs, and people commonly say when they're on ayahuasca they go into oneness and have an experience, or DMT, right? So it can happen from multiple things. When we're in a state of oneness, you're mostly in a brainwave state of theta. Now, brainwave states are simply different rhythms at different speeds, and it's measurable. These brainwave states are measurable with EEG. So you're mostly in a theta brainwave state between 3.5 and 7 cycles per second, which is like whoa, 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 whoa. Everybody's a little bit different. So when you find your theta, where you are when you're in the state of theta, which is kind of a spaced out state, really creative. Even when you're running love, you're in theta. But when you're one with the universe, you're in theta as well. So if you find your particular rhythm of theta between 3.5 and 7, you can just about get you into that state. You're in the zone, so it's just like one tiny little step to open up to oneness and unity consciousness. So we can ultimately use brainwave entrainment, which is binaural beat rhythms, whoa, 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 that entrain you into your theta to get you there. Now, technically, it's not just theta. It's actually a whole range of brainwave states. In fact, you can see here the delta is a little bit of delta. The theta is the most because it's the widest here. And then there's the alpha and beta and all the way up to gamma. So it's a full map, and they can actually show by the actual volume of each of these brainwave states how strong they are when you're in that state of actual oneness and unity consciousness. Jeffrey Martin now has figured out specific parts of the brain, little microtubules, which are nerve endings. He's figured out the frequency of them, and he can play ultrasound frequencies into those microtubules and bring you into this oneness and unity consciousness in the lab just about every time. And he can tell when you're there by this EEG map. He's even mapped out different higher states of consciousness from different spiritual traditions to oneness and unity consciousness. He's got a whole map of what different traditions actually talk about, which is really interesting. Now, Jeffrey Thompson actually has created an album that's been out for quite a while where he's actually done an EEG map of your brain when you're in oneness and unity consciousness. And then he's got an album that has those frequencies of the different brainwave states that he plays back and entrains you into that same state of consciousness. Although it's a little tricky because all of those frequencies of the binaural beat rhythms are going through the ears, so they're all mixed together. So how does the brain know to split it out to each lobe? Because different lobes are going to be in these different brainwave states. So it's like one lobe's going to be doing the theta, another lobe's going to be doing the beta, and so forth. So ultimately, the best is to actually have electrodes on the brain where you can actually play the frequency of each lobe to it. Although, as you might know if you've been listening to my podcast, everybody's rhythm of their brain is a little bit different, and that's what we find with the brainwave assessment that we do. And so you need to tune that map, which is a musical interval relationship map, to your particular brain rhythm. And then I bet we could get you into oneness at just even if you have no idea what it is, right? Oh my God. When you're one with the universe, there's no more anxiety. There's no more depression. There's no more PTSD. We're talking, we now have a cure for all mental, emotional issues. And in fact, you also are completely blissed out. Completely blissed out in universal love as well. This is major. I think if anything's going to change the world, get everybody blissed out. Now, they say it can be a problem that people don't want to get out of bed because why go to work? You could become homeless, right? It was so funny. I was just talking to some Hathors, interviewed the woman in the conference, and they said, well, if you want to be in bed, go be in bed. You know, that's exactly what you need. And then abundance will come to you if you're just going with the flow. That was an interesting answer. So ultimately, you get where you can be blissed out and you can actually function. Because when you're blissed out, you also often get downloads when you're one with the universe. I remember being one with the universe once when I knew every answer in the universe I had right there if I just would come up with a question. I had another experience at a Pink Floyd concert where I went into pure oneness, and I opened my eyes, and there was actually a beam of white light in my third eye, and I opened up, and I just wanted to hug everybody. I've had that happen quite a few times where I just love everybody. Right? It's really quite amazing. It's really cool when you totally get it, and it's not mentally, you totally get it experientially, that every single being and every single thing in this universe is one. There's no more upset ever. Compassion is completely present naturally then. When you're one with everybody, compassion, because it's you. It's you. How could you not have compassion for yourself unless you want to hurt yourself, right? So it's the ultimate state. It would get rid of all war. It would get rid of all hate. It would get rid of all people hurting each other. And it would get rid of all mental, emotional issues. This is really, really major. Now, when it comes to sound, there's one thing that gets you into oneness really well, or into the theta state, I should say, which is one step from the oneness. And that is tuning in to multiple things at once. When you tune in to all the sparkles on the water, it's like you go into like a kind of a spaced out state, like, whoa, right? You're not seeing individual sparkles. You're seeing waves of light going across the sparkles. You're in theta. And the whole brain starts working. Same when you see a beautiful view. Immediately you go into theta. That's why we love views. It takes us into that zone. It's also when you listen to music, when you tune into all of the sounds at once. I remember when I was in high school, I used to get stoned and put on headphones, and I'd become the music. I was in theta, and I just loved it. It's probably why I became a recording engineer. Well, that is totally one step from being one with the universe, because your whole brain's working, you're tuning into multiple things at once. You can also do it with sound, with instruments, that is. I mean, here's a crystal bowl. So it's got multiple harmonics in it. So let me play them and let you hear them. Here's the low note. And now I'm going to tap it on the side and we'll get a second note. 3 notes. Hear all 3? Low, and boom, and even the higher ones are doing a rhythm. Let me tap it again. Sound healing instruments have many harmonics that will take you into this theta state by tuning into multiple things at once, especially the gong. I mean, the gong's got 1,000 frequencies. So your left brain can't handle it. So you automatically go into the right brain, the whole brain opens up, and you're in the zone. Again, just one little tiny step from oneness with the whole universe. So there's the research that ultimately is going to help us get there that we're doing, where we can actually do these maps. But also there's different music that can take you there. So there's a song by Deva Premal and Mitten called Om Namo Bhagavate. And this song was recorded by a guy named Lumen. And Lumen had come up with this device that he can actually record thought forms. So he actually, it used to be he would just have you hold these metal bars that were connected to 2 computers, and he would record like a few hundred tracks at once in Pro Tools and be able to record your thought forms. So in this song with Deva Premal, he actually had her tune in to multiple things at once. Well, actually had her do 3 different things at once. So he had her first meditate on transmitting love. And he recorded her meditating on transmitting love through the whole song. And then he recorded a whole nother 300 tracks of her receiving love, recording her thought forms. And then he did a whole nother take through the whole song of being one with the universe. And so then in this song, when you listen to it, these energies are embedded in the background. They're not sound, they're just energy fields, and they're really been bumped up like 1,000 times. So you can actually tune into them, but I want to have you practice this and do multiple things at once, if you like. Okay? So, first of all, let's send love to everybody on the planet with the sound. As you know, around here, you can't do it wrong. You can't be out of pitch. You can't be out of tune. It's always perfect. So just bring love into your heart and send the sound of love to everybody on the planet and the whole universe. Go for the whole universe. They say universal love, it's like we're in the ocean. It's everywhere. So listen for this universal love coming back, not only from everybody on the planet, but just in the ether coming into your heart. Feel it in your heart coming in from the universe. They say it comes in through the thymus, down into the heart, or from the crown down the spine. I feel it. Now, being one with the universe, open up your intention to be one as you were when you were born. It's really just a remembering. When it happens to me, it's like this light fills the whole room, and it's kind of just, it's like, you know, it's like looking at a view. It's just a spaced out, beautiful state. Okay? So now I'm going to play this song and run these 3 energies of transmitting love, receiving love, and being one with the universe. I think of it as a pyramid with these in the bottom left corner, transmitting love and receiving love, being one with the universe at the peak of the pyramid. Okay, so I'm going to play this song where Deva Premal has been recorded doing these 3 energies. Okay, enjoy here.
Om Namo Bhagavate
even if you didn't go to oneness, kind of blissed out, hopefully. Let's now tune in to every frequency in the entire universe. That's what everybody says when they're one with Source. Source is all. It's every frequency. So let's tune in to every frequency. Okay? Imagine you have this cosmic array of speakers in front of you, transmitting all frequencies of sound into your body. Just be still and let them come in from the lowest all the way to the highest and everyone in between. From the highest to the lowest and everyone in between. Feel them all coming in, perfectly harmonious, like the cosmic Om. All at once. But then there are frequencies below our hearing range, which are rhythms. Below 20 hertz, it changes into a rhythm, like really fast rhythms, na na na, brrr, all the way to slower, whoa, 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 all the way down to whoa, whoa, to the breath. Ooh. Add in all these rhythms, all the rhythms there are below sound, add those in to all the sound frequencies coming out of this cosmic array of speakers. So now you've got all sound frequencies and you've got all rhythms as well. Just be still and feel them all coming into your body. Perfectly harmonious. But there are rhythms way slower than our breath. There's the spinning of the planet. One day is one breath, 24 hours. Feel that one and add it in to this cosmic array coming into your whole body. But then there's the Earth going around the sun, one breath in 365 days. Feel that one coming into your body as well. And then there's the precession of the equinoxes, which is the tilting of the Earth in relation to the stars. And it's got a cycle of one breath in 26,000 years. It's the Mayan calendar, and we just completed it in 2012. How still you got to be to feel that rhythm. One breath in 26,000 years. Add it in. Then there's the sun going around the Milky Way in about 200 million years. Oh my God, how still you got to be to feel that one. Add that breath in to all the other frequencies. Then there's the Milky Way going around whatever it's going around, which is like a billion years. Add that in. They even say that the Big Bang is an expansion and then contraction over trillions of years. Oh my God. Add that in. So we got the Big Bang, the Milky Way going around whatever it's going around, the sun going around the Milky Way, precession of the equinoxes, the Earth going around the sun, the Earth spinning, all the rhythms, all the sounds of sound, frequencies of sound, all the way up to the frequency of light, really fast vibration, and all the colors of light. Add those in to this whole array of frequencies coming in to your body from this cosmic speaker set. All at once. Even faster than that is the atom. Atom is so fast. And then the quark is even faster than that. they say that matter goes in and out of reality 600 billion times per second. It's like the fastest vibration we know of. 600 billion times per second. Add that in. We've now got the fastest frequency all the way down to the slowest, the Big Bang, and everyone in between. Be still and feel them all coming into your body, perfectly harmonious like the cosmic Om of creation. Now bring all of those into your body, because we are a hologram of the whole universe. We are all of these frequencies. Be all frequencies that we are. Feel it perfectly harmonious in your body. We are the whole universe. We are Source. We are God. And everybody is all of these frequencies. So in this place, we're all one. Feel this oneness with everybody and everything in the universe. We are all frequencies. Multiple things at once. From this place, the illusion of separation that we live in just seems silly. Also, any one frequency would bring us down. We don't really want to hear one frequency. There's nothing better than all frequencies at once. It's like all is known, like the shaman that can hear the song of the plant and sing it. All is known, all is perfect, and all is well. And there's indescribable love here. Whenever you tune into multiple things, you can now access this state. Set your intention to go to this whenever you can, whenever you've got time. I mean, ultimately, it's the most important homework you could ever have. Alice Bailey says, ultimately, we're all going to be one with the universe all the time. That's where we're all headed. And it's really, you can't even imagine it. To be in this bliss state all the time and go through your day, right? So now the whole thing becomes, why are you doing what you're doing? Well, it's all service. It's all service. That's all that matters anymore. And it's so easy to love your brother and see exactly how so many people are just lost because they're entrained into the craziness of our society for thousands and thousands of years. It's no one's fault. They're just lost. Like me sometimes. I want to play a recording that we did in the school with 30 people, toning the energy of oneness and unity consciousness. And I created a little video of different images with it. So check this out. And again, go into that state. Stay in this state if you're there, where we are all one. from this place, there are no challenges or conflicts. It's all about growth. Even what's going on the planet, in politics, it's all perfect to move us forward. And imagine no more mental, emotional issues ever again for anybody. And the whole physical body starts healing. Imagine everybody on the planet, one with the universe, all hearts connected, all the time. Oh my God. Hold that thought forever. Thank you for listening.